9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Well That Effing Figures. I hope everybody had a safe and fun New Year's. Today we're going to have a very special guest to start off the new year. KushieMama, Mandy, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Good to have you here. How was your New Year's?
It was good. I mean, I'm an old lady, so I was in bed by the time you messaged me last night.
And actually,
11 p.m. Right? Yeah, no, good. I don't do much, so literally it was just hang out, right? So like most of us at this age and do. So but here I am this morning, so I'm not hungover. You have me fresh eyes. That's good, right? I mean, there's always but hopefully you guys had a good New Year's Eve. Right?
Yeah. I played board games with a couple of friends and my wife, and had a couple of beers, and I think I was going to bed when I messaged you just to make sure everything was cool and we were on the same page, same time zone, all that stuff. And how about you, Colin?
Oh, I talked to you for a little bit last night. Yeah, and I went to bed early. I may have been in bed before 11 o'clock. I'm not sure.
I know
a lot of fun over here.
When I woke up this morning, I had like 10 messages, Happy New Year, and I'm like, wow, like I'm just getting this at 6 this morning, so I'm a loser. And whatever.
The bars by my house are still open. I went out at 5 a.m. and there was people still sitting there. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I heard fireworks, and I'm like, I don't even know where they're coming from, and I really don't give a shit at this point. I'm laying down. I'm not getting back up unless I have to. So,
yeah, we had fireworks, we had gunshots. Yeah, it was
wow. Yeah. I don't know where they were. They must have been like in the town over from us or something. They were kind of in the distance, but I was like,
there is nothing that made me want to go out last night. You couldn't tell me one thing that was like, oh yeah, I want to go out and deal with all the people and all the police. And
I mean, first of all, here it was super foggy all day. Like the fog did not lift. It was so dense you couldn't see your nose in front of your face. And I'm like, so many people are going to die tonight if they go out drinking. It's dangerous to drive right now, even without drinking. And if you out on New Year's Eve, it's just not a good mix with what we had going on yesterday. There was no sun to burn it off, so it was just all day fog, and not a good situation. So we weren't going out anyway, but that just added to our decision. Like, yeah, we're staying home, play board games, and that's it. So
it's like I used to watch the ball drop thing in Times Square.
Yeah, me too.
I can't believe people want to go down and being packed in that area. Like, no way.
Yeah.
No way. No chance in hell do I want to get down there.
Yeah, a few years ago.
Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm all right.
I don't want to go. I have no desire to go there. It's bad enough on a normal day in New York City.
Yeah.
Did you do fireworks where you're at, Mandy?
I was just going to comment how like fireworks and gunshots are a daily thing in my city. So, I mean, we're always like, is that a firework or is that a gunshot?
Yeah, right, yeah.
I mean, probably. I'm sure some of those were gun or a little bit of both here. So, right. Yeah. But no, crazy. Like, we get them.
If you hear one and you don't hear an ambulance after, then it should have been a firework, I hope.
Something, you hope, or like they did the job in one shot.
My sister was just telling me her boyfriend's brother he just became a police officer in the city of Milwaukee, and he said there was like 25 straight minutes of just gunfire last night.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah,
we're not that bad, but like I do live in an area close to an area where you have to second guess what the noise is for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was last night. It was probably them all shooting their guns off at New Year's. So
yeah, bunch of fucking cowboys.
That's what that was.
I live kind of in a wooded area, so there is some hunting going on, so you never know here either.
Yeah, hunting at nighttime.
Yeah, who the fuck's hunting at
you never know what these guys
midnight? They might get their New Year's hunting.
Yeah. Shoot each other. Fuck, man.
Yeah. You got some poachers by you, dude.
Right.
Poachers. Yeah, everybody wants a deer where I'm at. I'm like, leave them damn deer alone, man. Come on.
Yeah, leave Bambi alone.
You like if
I've
you
never
hunt,
been into it. I couldn't do it.
I
you-
used to, but
if you eat the meat and stuff, I'm completely fine with it. Because if there wasn't hunting, we'd be so overran with animals. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
but
for
I
me,
just
I'd rather
don't like
just
the
not see
people.
it.
You got these hunters, and then you go, oh, so you ask, oh, I don't eat that meat's gross. That's like, what the fuck are you hunting for? You know, like,
Go shoot a disc or something. You know, if you want
Yeah.
to. You know.
Yeah, I used to hunt. I didn't eat it, but I was also a 15-year-old kid, so I was just following along with the family, right?
right.
So I get it, but like nowadays, I couldn't even think twice. Like I see a squirrel running across the road, and I'm like, "Stop the fucking truck!" Right? So no, I get it. So it's a huge change. Right?
I'm the same way. Like last week, we were driving somewhere, and it was really crazy. Like I'm on like Route 1 is a very quiet road where you can get from place to place with no traffic. So I'm riding down Route 1, and I seen this thing out of the corner of my eye flying towards me, and it hit my antenna. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And my wife was like, I think it was a cardinal. I'm like, what's the likelihood of a cardinal or a bird hitting my antenna? So I felt all bad for the next few miles and shit. I'm like, man, I hope he's all right. I doubt he is, though, because we're going like 55 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour. And that's just not, boom, you know.
Right.
But,
for sure.
I'm a big wuss that way. I don't want to hurt them guys, man. You know.
No, for sure.
I think there's people that like try to hit, animals because I'm known to slam on the brakes for squirrels and stuff. Like I just don't know how people don't see them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's always going to be a circumstance, but like there's way too much roadkill out there. Like I think people made it a game or something.
Yeah, no, it's sad. It's sad. Like it's sad. I mean, luckily, most of it is creatures we don't want an abundance of, but still, like it's the right. To be honest, right? But no, it is. It is what it is, though, right?
Yeah.
I made the mistake of I was slammed on the brakes for a skunk one time, went right over the top of him, and he sprayed. My car smelled like fucking skunk for like 2 weeks. It was so bad that ride to work. I couldn't. Oh man. I was basically driving like with my head out the window. That's how bad it was. It was.
Yeah. I've had it once. I got it once in my Mini Cooper, and I was like, really, of all the vehicles, why does it have to be the small one? They just seeped into the metal at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, damn, fuck. Yeah, I understand that pain.
That's a terrible smell, too.
It's awful.
And when you're that like when it's like that, it's so much worse than like when you just
like water
in the distance. It's like I mean, you can't even explain it.
Oh man.
Damn. That's too funny.
Actually
so looking at the chat, Mega Demon's here as normal. He's always here. He hangs out with us. Thank you for joining. He bought a lot of stuff for Christmas, it looks like.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't do Christmas this year. I actually skipped Christmas this year.
Oh, you did?
Really?
Yeah, we skipped it this year. We buy stuff every day.
Right.
So
that's what we say too.
Yeah, like we buy stuff every day, almost every day. And like it's not like little things here. It's like things that are worth money. So it's not whatever. So I just bought my son, like he's autistic, so I bought him a new tablet, like an upgraded tablet so that his learning stuff. And I was like, Merry Christmas. Right. So I didn't expect anything. I didn't want anything. We stayed home. We watched cartoons. Like we did nothing. We were just like, forget it. We'll do something later. We did something for my mom for Christmas, like at her birthday. So it's so close to Christmas anyways. We just said, forget it. Right. Like we did not want to do it. Like we used to do the whole family thing until before COVID. Let's get real. And then COVID happened. We're like, you know what? We're good celebrating in different houses. Let's work.
Right.
Let's
work. So we just said forget it. But I hope everybody else had a good Christmas.
Yeah, we do the same thing pretty much. Like whenever we want something, if we can get it within reason, we just get it. So we don't really exchange gifts. We get them for the kids, and all that stuff, the grandkids, all that. But we don't really do, exchange gifts because I'm like, like. If you want it, go get what you like instead of me trying to guess what you're going to like. You're just settling or whatever. But yeah, I'd rather just keep it simple.
Yeah.
At this age, I don't really care.
It's just another day. It's just like New Year's to me. I'm like, it's just another day. We get it off work.
Yeah.
A paid day off work, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
at this stage, right? Like, but back in my 20s and stuff, I was like, yeah, let's make it big still. But now I'm like, no. Here's your couple presents.
Yep.
See you later. Right?
I would rather just stay home and watch Christmas movies than.
Oh, for sure.
I screw going. I mean, they've pretty much just made Christmas about spending money, anyways. So it's so different now than when it was when I was younger. But I don't know. I still try to carry on the traditions for my son.
Oh, for sure.
But,
I'm a little guy too, so I do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, Santa is still very real in this house, but
Santa comes for everybody.
But that's right. Even the naughty ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it was the same when I was a kid, but I guess I didn't notice it as much because I wasn't the one spending the money.
Yeah, no, of course.
My mom and dad had all the presents under the tree and all that for me. So I don't, and shit wasn't expensive back then. But then again, it's all relative because you didn't make as much back then. So pretty much the same. But
it's crazy. I can't believe the price of things these days, and it's different because in the States things are slightly cheaper, but I know like your taxes are different, right, in that regard. So here it's just bloody ridiculous for everything.
Yeah.
But then I could live in Japan or in Australia and be 20 times worse off, right, or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Around here, if you're going to buy something big, you're better off going to Delaware because it's no tax, no sales tax. But Pennsylvania is like 6%, and so is Maryland, something like that.
Wait, you have places in the States that don't charge taxes to buy things?
Delaware, I know for a fact, and I'm pretty sure Rhode Island's the same way, but I'm not 100% on that. I think
interesting. I'll Google that.
They get it somehow, though. They get it some way.
Okay, there must be a tax somewhere somewhere else that they're charging.
Yeah,
a citizen's tax.
So if I get something online and I'd have it delivered, if it's pretty pricey, sometimes I'll have it delivered to a friend's house in Delaware or a coworker's house in Delaware if I can. I mean, just to save me. Sometimes you get something like $300-400, you're paying, whatever, like, $20-30 on tax, so let's save that. So
for sure.
I try. If not, whatever. But
no, I understand that. A lot of times I do a lot of my toy hunts offline because if I want to buy a $20 figure from the States, it costs me $30 to ship it to me. So I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah, right.
Like I'm paying more. And I've had friends ship me stuff. I'm like, let me at least pay for the ship. No. I'm like, it costs more than the figure itself, dude. Like, trust me.
Yeah.
Right. So I just don't do online stuff. If I can't find it in the stores, I'll find it 6 months later when everyone else has ripped it out of the box and has been like, look at my 45 photos of it. And I'm like, well, fuck you. I just got it.
Yeah.
But I'm happier not paying all that ridiculous shit on top of it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Me and Joe were just talking about that last night, how ridiculous shipping is. I did the ship a box and I got to the post office and they're like $48. And I'm like, hold up. No, I took it back home with me and I went on one of those shipping websites. I got shipping like half the price.
Yeah.
I just couldn't even believe it.
Nuts. I paid $80-some to ship something to somebody and I was just like, I must be better off driving it to their house across the country. Like, Jesus Christ. Like,
really?
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
it's crazy right now. But even like I had the audacity to go to Target and Walmart yesterday, and I guess they didn't stock anything yet because I couldn't even video because there was nothing.
It was empty. Yeah, like even here it was the same thing.
They were shutting the place down. I'm like, holy shit, this is worse than I've ever seen before.
That's why I haven't even tried. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it after the holidays. I'll give it a few weeks, and then I'll start back up.
Yeah. There's nothing I was really looking for. I wanted to put another video out because I want to keep them going. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not just going to put a video out to put a video out. Screw it. They're going to skip a week and might not get one this week. That's all. And,
right.
I'm sure they'll live without it.
Yeah.
They shall survive.
I hope all 2 people that watch it will live without it,
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. All 5 people, yeah.
I hope they will survive without me, yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, goodness.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
That's true. Hey, I know I was there too. Like my YouTube is not big at all. Like I have 600, whatever, but it's also 4 years of really not doing anything. Yeah. Right? Like there was one time I posted one video every 6 months and people were still following it. So I'm like, oh, okay. Right?
Yeah.
cool, right? And now I barely post. Like, well, I'll post once in a while now because I'm starting to be able to do that stuff.
And then there's people with 100,000, and I'm like, why did anybody watch these people? Because it's terrible to watch.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not mentioning names, and I'm not into that, but I'm just
for sure.
I watch some shit, and I'm like, what in the fuck is this?
Oh,
like, how did they get 100,000? You know?
I watch some of these bigger streamers too. I'm like, why am I watching this? This guy's a fucking idiot. I mean, I'm stupid, but this guy's dumber than I am, right? Like,
yeah,
they have thousands and thousands of followers, right?
Yeah.
So like,
I'm not very entertaining, but I mean, goddamn, I could do better than some of these guys. I mean,
yeah, no,
I guess if you just get on camera and jump around and act like a fucking 2-year-old, you'll.
Well, I do that, so I mean,
but it works for you. You know, whatever works.
It works for me. But I can own up to that. I'm also, there is the internet side of me and the normal side of me, where I'm not jumping around like a fucking idiot.
Yeah. The common subdue KushieMama. Yeah.
Oh,
that's funny. Yeah. So, you know, we're not here to like, we talked about this. We're just going to have a nice laid back conversation. So if anybody's watching, don't expect us to grill her on when she started collecting. Not that we don't care, but
it's been done.
It's been done. We follow her. We kind of know each other by now a little bit, and we're just here to shoot the shit. And that's
I love some of the comments. So Nerd Babble, it's a very small line for Kushie between the two, but she keeps the balance sometimes. He knows. So I'm like, listen, in the DMs, I'm like, listen, these people are gonna get fucking smacked in the head. But in here, I'm like, you're so sweet and innocent.
Oh my god, that Instagram post you put up with in the produce section.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I was dying. I
had to. Dying. I was like, come on. It's who I am, right? Like, people get mad at me because I'm not afraid to say the things that you're thinking. Right. And the thing is, and I know you guys can probably agree here, is I was raised in a time where we were told to express our opinions freely. Right. And we were also allowed to say different things. Right. And once you get stuck in that, you're stuck there because you've been there and accustomed, you've acclimation. Let's get it. Right. So sometimes I say some colorful things in the DM and they're like, what the hell? I'm like, yeah. So I post that video just so someone get a little taste of what it really is like to live in my mind. Like,
yeah,
that's what that made me do.
I can relate. I'm the same way. I have no filter, and people like they say I say things that they're thinking, and how can you say this and get away with it? I push buttons all the time.
Okay.
It is what it is. Now I try to, even though I am what I am, and that's it. I mean, I'm the same here as I am anywhere else, but on here, I do have to tone it back just a hair.
Of course.
We want to have some people sticking around. So,
of course. Trust me, I know all about it. That's what I tell people. I'm like, it isn't just like these people just walk into my door. Like, it's up and down battle, up and down battle. Am I posting? I'm being shadow banned, right? Like, it's just like up and down here. And they're like, oh, it's so easy. I'm like, it's not easy. It's actually a second fucking job that I'm not getting paid for, and I don't like it anymore.
Right. It is a lot of work. It seriously is a lot of work.
Yeah. There's a lot of sensitivity out there right now. I know a few weeks ago you had a little issue with some things, and if you don't want to get into that, it's fine. I'm
get into it. I posted some Matt Walsh thing, and I have no idea. Like, I now know who Matt Walsh is. I posted something without knowing who this person was because I'm a Canadian. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck these American bigots are, right? Because I'm like, I don't, right? But I posted something because I was interested in what the African tribe was saying. I was like, wow, like what the message wasn't getting that far in the world, right? Like, as we had, like, they were like, what does that mean? And I was like, wow, so it is not everywhere. It was more why I posted it. And of course, I had some people who I respected and, like I thought were my friends, in my DMs just coming at me. I'm like, dude, I'm not transphobic. I'm like, I actually have a 15-year-old niece who calls herself Felix, thinks she's a cat and wants to be a man. So I don't know how anyone, right? I'm like, and I'm not judging her. I'm just like, you do you, but like, right? You do you, do whatever you want.
Right,
so,
it's you.
Do you. All I said in that is, we have a situation happening here in Ontario where there is a teacher here who is pushing the boundaries a little bit too excessively and has become worldwide news. And I was just like, listen, if you're going to start forcing it on us, it's a different thing. Because for me growing up, it's like, you can do whatever you want until you start forcing it on me. Right. Exactly. So that became an issue with people. And I was like, listen, I was born in the 80s. I was raised in the 80s. I was raised in the 90s. Things were different things were not as woke back then. This is how it is. I'm like, do you? But leave me the fuck out of it. And don't harass me because I post something that I have no idea who this Matt Walsh dude is. Transphobic headliner, ambassador, whatever. Right. I do now know who he is, and I have watched some of his videos. And I'm just like, interesting. It's interesting. Like, it's good to know both takes.
Yeah.
Right. In life. And that's who I am. Is I always listen to both sides, sometimes the third side. Right? Because you'll get more facts that way. But that's basically it. So it caused a lot of drama. A lot of people were like just bullying and stuff. And I'm like, finally, you know, last week I'm just like, fuck it. And as you guys can probably see now in my post, I'm getting a little more savage. A little more savage. Because I am very savage when I want to be. But I'm like, maybe not on Instagram, but I'm seeing people like it. Like, I'm getting more people, like, they'll see my notes where I'm like, your mom should have swallowed. And they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you wrote that. I'm like, well, your mom should have. Like, shit like that.
Yeah, argue with me. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So that's that. So it's over. Those people obviously blocked and deleted me and whatever. And you're free to block and delete me if you do not agree with one of my opinions either. But, you know, for me, it's like, I will listen to everyone's opinion. It doesn't mean you're right, I'm right. It's still right.
I mean, if you're going to agree with everything everybody says,
we're all just puppets.
Yeah, it really is a really boring world. Yeah, right. It's like somebody's pulling the strings. And
everybody's free to. Everybody's free to think and act how they want. I mean,
yeah. Well, you know, I guess
for the most part. Right?
Yeah.
There's some laws I hear they're trying to pass in the world, and I'm like, okay, you all just need to be shut down. Like, just shut down, right?
Well,
but
that's how it's supposed to be, I should say.
Right? Yeah. You're right. No, to each their own, and obviously, I just say no boundaries in life. Know your boundaries, your personal boundaries, and respect others' boundaries. Right? Like, I just say, the minute my 5-year-old starts finding stuff, like, for me, the only reason I found that Matt Walsh clip is because it showed up on my YouTube one day. It was like in the home feed. And I'm like, and like the shorts. Right? So I was like, oh, okay, interesting clip. And I was like, okay, if I'm seeing this, is my son seeing this at the same time? Right? And that's what I'm worried about, right? It's not even me. Like, I'm like, do whatever you want, right? Is this going to be filtered down?
Yeah.
Right. And then have the questions. And I'm like, it's too early. Like, he's only 5. It's too early for those questions. Right. So, So now on Instagram, I'm just like, fuck it. Post whatever you want. And if someone doesn't like it, kick bricks.
There you go. Yeah. That's the way it needs to be. I mean, not everybody has to like what you say. I mean, you know, they make that.
And I'm not here to sugarcoat shit either. Right. Like, my parents didn't raise me saying, oh, good job. My parents like, oh, you didn't get suspended this week. Like, that's how I was raised. We were very volatile to each other, but we loved each other. That's how you knew you loved, right? That's just how our family was. So I still see that I leak that out into public, into humanity. I'm just like, oh, sorry. People never know if I'm sarcastic or being serious. I'm like, you'll never know. Right? Like,
same here. I do the same thing. Yeah.
I get it all the time. They're like, I'm so sorry to ask. I'm like, I wasn't mad. Like, I was saying good for you. Like, like that.
Exactly.
All good though. Like, I'm just stop reading those DMs. I'm like, if you really want to say something, just say it. Like, and the worst part is, like, you're hiding behind an Instagram photo, right? Like, you're hiding behind an action figure photo. I'm like, my face is here telling you that you're an idiot. Right? I'm like, so for me, I just look at it, I'm like, who's the bitch now? Every time.
I totally ignore those people because, you know, arguing with them and even responding to them, you're giving them what they want. You know?
For sure. But sometimes they're your friends, right?
Yeah, if you just fucking ignore them and don't give them the time of day, they lost. In my opinion.
For sure. I just start blocking people. I'm like, if you don't, and not blocking because you don't agree with my opinion, you obviously have to say something else. Everyone's going to disagree with something on something. But if you're like, for example, someone brought my son into, I'm like, you don't even know anything about me. Why the fuck you bringing my son into this? Right? Like, shit like that. Then I'm like, okay, instant block. But like, if it's just like something I can get over, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, well, I'm like, well, I shouldn't post it, but I did. See ya. Have a great day. And then they stop. Like, a lot of them will stop, but some will just like,
oh yeah, if it reaches harassment, then
then it's instant. And there was a point last week where it was instant harassment, right? So I was just like, fuck off.
Right.
Even when I said I'm done talking about it, right? So like, okay, but that's life. I've learned that that's a thing on Instagram, and it's not just me, and it won't be just you, and it won't so it won't be just Joe. So,
oh man, I get a kick out of it.
Like, a lot of times you post something, like, I'm in the wrestling really big, so if something happens. Like a few weeks ago, Mandy Rose got fired because she had the explicit videos and all that. If you've seen, so someone said that she got fired, and I was like, you know, it's a shame she got released, and I used the word released.
Yep.
And they were like, fired and released is different. And I'm like, there's no difference. It's the same shit.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
Your duty, you're fired, whatever. You're not there any longer. You're gone. It's not like it's a temporary thing. They may come back, but you're fired for now. You're released for now. I didn't even go on. He just was trying to pick an argument, and I'm not into that on there. You know, I'll argue with you all day in your face. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm not going to keep typing argument about like released and fired. Go to hell, man. You know, I don't really need that shit. I don't need that much.
Yeah, that seems pretty petty to be arguing.
Yeah.
Oh, I get a kick out of reading some of the, like, you know, I'll just start reading comments on stuff, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Like,
I know.
And so many people out there just waiting to say
something.
and like disagree with you just so they can disagree with you, just so they have something to do, I guess. It's
yeah. I'm saying that a lot more too. Like I posted a picture with Sam Elliott and it was like, my rights don't end with your feelings, where your feelings start.
I was gonna bring that one up earlier. I like that. I tell people about that one all the time because I agree with it. You know?
Like left-wing nuts came out and I'm like, listen, like our politics are way different, obviously, in Canada. They're still the same. We still have the fucking retards that were like, get out of the house and do this and this and this. But like it's so much different. But like this person was just like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, are you sitting here telling me that because you feel sad right, today that I don't have the right to do this? Yeah. I'm like, listen, you're literally arguing with me the point that you're bringing up and you're looking like a fucking idiot doing it. Like, obviously, I ban those people because I'm just like, dude, you literally wasted 5 minutes of my life when I'm sitting here like, you're wrong. You can end the conversation now. Fuck off. Right?
Yeah, and I'm not getting that 5 minutes back. Thanks a lot.
I'm not getting it, and I never did, and I'm very sad, but luckily I don't have to deal with that person ever again. And if you're watching...
Fuck you.
Hello, come on. There's a fucking kiss. Yeah, no, it's good though. I actually love Instagram for that shit because I used to be on Facebook and I thrived on those comment sections. Like some of them are just so good. I'm like, oh, right? Like, and sometimes you just jump in just to be like a little shit disturber. Right? Like, yeah. Right? No, I love that shit, but I don't do that much anymore. But I do love to see it on my page and other people's pages. I'm just like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, when the internet first came out, you know, them first years, it was so nice to be able to go on somewhere and just, you know, tell people what you feel like. And this is so easy. Like, I can tell somebody go fuck themselves, and this is really cool. Like, I can do this. You know, hey, whatever. I don't. But you know, things changed, and you know, you grow up, and you know, you get all that shit out of your system, and
well, some people do.
Yeah.
I still have it. It's still. I always tell them like there's still a 16-year-old girl that lives in me somewhere, right? Like somewhere, right?
Oh, that's why I always like my wife jokes with me is like when I get mad at something that she's like, Joey from Wilmington's coming out.
Oh,
no. Like, watch out, Wilmington, Delaware in the house. I'm gonna get pissed off. That's where I grew up, and she always said like, if I get really mad at something, oh shit, Joey's coming out. Like,
oh shit.
Yeah, oh shit.
I get it. Well, someone's having a baby. Dave's Dimensions Legacy of Nerd is officially a dad now.
Yep.
Well, congrats on that, I guess.
Yeah. If that's what you're into, and I'm just kidding. Congratulations. Get your wallet ready for the next at least 25 years.
If that's an action figure that you pre-ordered, good for you. It's arrived.
Yeah, right. Someone not getting any sleep now. That's for sure.
I know. Goodbye.
No sleep, and you got to watch that money now, buddy.
That's right.
Congratulations, brother. Congratulations, all serious. and talking seriously, congratulations on that. If you're watching, he usually comes in here, pops his head in for a little while. So, congratulations, Legacy of Nerd, on that. Any new horror things you're looking to come out? Any new toy horror collectibles or any like cons in your area that are horror related that you're going to?
So con season is over here. They don't really start up till April. So next year I will be obviously like the Comic Cons again. So I'm not really like horror collectibles, not really. See, I'm the type I just see it and I grab. I'm not very, my collection sucks. Like it's a great collection, but it sucks in the sense where like I just see things and grab them. I don't actually like, oh, I need this, right? Like because I am an out in the wild hunter, toy hunter. That's the only way I can do things. I like, oh, I don't have that. It's on the shelf here. I better grab it now. I'm not going to see it again. I'm going to see it for fucking $60 more than it needs to be. Right. Right. So, not collectibles per se, it's movies. Like I got to catch up on movies, horror movies now, right? So Terrifier 2, awful movies, just in case anyone hasn't seen it. I actually think it was fucking awful.
Really?
I hated it. I loved the first one. The first one was great.
Yeah,
You're out of here. I'm just
Great, right? No, fuck, the second one sucked, man. Like, even with like, and I watched it as background noise for the first time, so I was just like, okay. And then the second time, like, okay, you're gonna actually watch it so you can say. But like, even like watching them bleed, I'm like, dude, that's so corn syrup. You can tell it was just so badly done.
See, me and Colin, we disagree with that, but that's okay. See,
Yeah.
we can do that.
You guys don't like? You guys liked it, yeah?
No, like
I didn't like it. I think they could have ended it 15 to 20 minutes sooner before all that mystical shit happened.
Yeah, the ending was just garbage.
yeah,
That's my gripe. Yeah.
I do not like the ending at all.
Even on our watch along, we ended it before it was over because we can't stand that last part.
No garbage.
That last
What
part.
I love the kill part where he's in the bedroom tearing the girl apart, playing with her on the bed. Like that part made me just like that movie. But yeah. The ending
like
garbage and the mystical shit. What the fuck? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I actually met the whole cast at a MonsterCon here, and they were all really cool people to talk to. I do agree. Like that last 20 minutes, even maybe half hour, was just torture for me to get through.
Yeah,
the first time, but then once I saw that mystical shit happen, and I'm like, why did they do this on a slasher film? You know,
that's why I don't go to theaters, because like, if I spend money to go watch something and I see that, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Right? Like, yeah, there's only 20 minutes of an hour and 30-minute movie, but I'm like, no, right? So, but yeah, it was that whole like, I stopped watching it probably about the last half. Now I look up and they're like the comic book character, she's in the water, and all of a sudden she's dead, and then all of a sudden she's awake again. I'm like, how the fuck is she even breathing still? I miss that. So
that's around the point I think they should have probably
just cut her. Yeah, right. So no, I love the first one, and that's what I was saying to people. Like, the first one made me cringe a lot more. Like, it totally made me cringe. Like, that scene with Dawn, that was the ending scene for me, and I was like, "Okay, this made the movie right there, done." Like, I'm terrified, right? So, but this one, I didn't have any of those points. Like, yes, there's good kill scenes and some shots, but I'm like, I feel like it wasn't rushed. Like, obviously, it wasn't a rushed movie, but like, there was points where I'm like, this feels very rushed. Right, like just to get to
low budget.
Yeah,
they were both very low budget too.
So they had its moments, and most movies will have their hits and misses. But yeah, I think that one was a flop for me. I still haven't seen Halloween Ends or Kills or whatever the last one is. So there's another one I gotta find. No.
Don't even waste your fucking time.
I mean, it's okay, but it's not as bad as the latest Texas Chainsaw.
I haven't seen that, so I imagine it's bad.
You could probably save 4 hours of your life by not watching either one.
What I'm excited for this year is the production is starting on Five Nights at Freddy's movie. They have, I don't know if you guys are into any of that, but me and my son collect all the figures and stuff. They got Matthew Lillard in it.
Shit.
Yeah, I can't wait. He's gonna be the main antagonist.
Yeah, I have to check it out.
I'm really excited for that. We've been waiting a long time. Hopefully they do it right. Blumhouse is doing it, so that's a plus.
Oh, so it's gonna be like live action then, yeah?
Yeah, live action.
Oh, my son's gonna love it. He's
excited for it.
Yeah, my son loves it, so
yeah.
I feel like I'll be watching that.
I cannot wait. If they do it right, it should be awesome.
Yeah.
Just happy it's finally starting. Probably won't see it till 2024, but at least it's starting.
Oh, for sure, right? Yeah, I don't watch movies anymore. I find myself on the computer more than anything, but that one might be one I have to check out, because Five Nights at Freddy, anything in here, like we got a couple of the figs, like the ones you build, the body parts, so he likes those, but Roblox is becoming a thing out here too now. So I'm like, which one's it going to be, Five Nights at Freddy or Roblox this year? So we'll see what he thinks when that one comes.
Yeah, I don't know which one I spend more money on, my collection or Roblox.
Oh, really? Oh, fuck. I hate Roblox. Like, my kid's on it all the time. He'll be like, oh, there's a killer. Like, he gets to those weird back rooms that have like murderers and shit. And I'm like, okay. You want money to kill people? Okay.
Right.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So back to Terrifier, they are making a part 3, and
no,
Yeah.
No.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Much to your chagrin, they are they are doing it.
The only
They said this will be the most gory one yet. That's what the director
Gory,
said.
but is it going to be good?
I
There's
hope.
gore and there's being good and gory.
well,
What
it's
I
either
want-
going to
what
be
I-
a
what I
head
want is
running
a
around
prequel.
killing people, or
Yeah.
they're going to do a prequel.
Yeah,
need a-
yeah.
I need a
How else are you
prequel.
gonna
I need
do
to
it?
know why. What pissed him off this bad that he's ripping people's limbs off. I want to know, like, what got him, like, to do that. So I want to see a prequel on that. That's what I really hope for, but I don't think it's going to be that.
Someone probably stole his quarter scale neck and Ninja Turtle figure.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's probably
That's
happened.
Yeah, that's the most logical thing I can.
Right? I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, I would probably murder someone for that too. Actually,
Don't touch my figure.
don't touch my toys.
Hands
Yeah.
off.
Well,
I've
he's
always been
really
like-
pissed off. So
He's very angry. They must have took the whole fucking collection. Mm.
I'm excited for that animated Ninja Turtle movie that's coming out too.
There's another one. They made another. I'm so under a rock. See, I don't watch TV. That's
Yeah,
one
Seth
thing.
Rogen is making a.
It's the same one. Okay.
Yeah,
All
it's the same one.
right. Okay.
Well,
I
I'm
was
sure
like,
there'll be more, but
Well, I'm with you because he always when I need to watch a movie, I'm like, Colin, give me a movie to watch. I'm bored.
go to call and get the synopsis.
Yeah, I don't keep up in all that. Like we said backstage, I don't keep up with all the what's coming out and all that stuff. I wait for these guys to bring it up, and then I look it up, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that looks cool, or that sucks, or whatever, you know. And
Oh, for sure.
I've
No.
always been a big movie person, but I kind of got more into TV series, but now I'm starting to watch. I'm keeping more up on movies now, just so I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking to people on these damn live chats.
Yeah.
I just wing it because I can't keep up with every movie like that.
No.
But have you watched Wednesday on Netflix by chance?
I have, and it was one of those things again, like because I don't know if it's just I don't like watching TV, but it's more was background noise for me, right? Like they had a couple points where I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's quirky, that's fun, but like it wasn't something where I'm like, oh, I gotta stop this, I don't want to miss anything, so I can go run and grab a drink in the fridge, right? Like
That was me.
like, that doesn't happen to me. But yeah, no, I don't see what the big fuss is, to be quite honest. Like, but that's just me.
Yeah. Again, we loved it, but we think that Jenna Ortega does a good job at anything. I really like her.
Yeah, and I love her, and that's why I love the movie and the show story in itself, because she did play, like, she was good for the character. But there's just some of it I'm like, just stupid, right? Like, but I also like the OG stuff, right? See, I'm very vintage. I'm very vintage. Like, I still watch everybody, you know, like I Love Lucy, and I still watch like all my monster movies very religiously. So a lot of things from the 30s and the 40s. So now when I watch things, I'm like, I see where they're going, but it could be better. Like,
Oh, definitely.
old school.
Older cartoons, older everything for me.
Yeah.
Very nostalgic too.
That's like I hated that new Munsters remake. I thought that was garbage.
I didn't even watch it.
I couldn't watch it. It was just it was like unwatchable. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They got-
I'm kind of like I like that too. Like all the old horror stuff is the best. Untouchable.
Yeah, like there's some I haven't even seen. Like I was amazed. I sat down. I got like for Christmas, I got like a 6-disc, like all the movies from back then. And there's some I'm like, I never even watched this Curse of Frankenstein or whatever it was. And it was like, shit, man, like this shit's crazy for the 30s and the 40s, and like
Right.
they were allowed to show then. And now we got some snowflakes going like, oh my god, that's so much. But they're doing this like before you were even born, before any of us were fucking born. I'm like, give me a break.
Yeah.
Well, in a way, like the computer animation almost killed shit. In a way, like now that's like all over the top, like you know, action movies and stuff, like explosions. Like, come on, like, can we just tone it down a little bit? I love like old. That's one thing I love about older movies is like they did what they could do. Like, so I mean, I don't know.
It was more realistic, is what it was,
Yeah.
right? Like,
And that's why I like Star Wars so much, because the original 3, and I'm a big Star Wars guy, but the original 3, you can't really tell them apart from the newer stuff. They kept it pretty much on track to make it all look like it blends in for the most part. And that's what I like. They didn't go over the top, like with a lot of the stuff and the explosions and all that whatnot. It all looks like it's blended in, and it could be the same time period. At least that's what
I still haven't watched Star Wars, so
none of them.
yeah, again, it's like those Lord of the Ring movies. Like you can't like sit in those fucking Harry Potter movies. Like you watch one, and you're like, fuck it. I know
I
what
love
they're
Harry
about.
Potter.
Right? Like, I know what they're all about.
I'm still waiting for my Hogwarts letter.
I
Right?
never watched Harry Potter
I
or
watched one Harry Potter movie in theater, and that was like the very first one that came out back in the day. And I was like, I never watched another one again because I read the books, right? Like I was a book reader, not a TV person, so I do read a lot. That's why I don't watch a lot of TV, right? But yeah, no, it's Harry Potter, Hogwarts.
I never watched that. Lord of the Rings. I never watched Avatar. None of those. I'm just not into.
I sat through Lord of the Rings, the first one. I almost killed myself. Like that was way too long. It was kind of reminded of like the Titanic, and I'm like, oh, why did I pay for this?
No.
We already knew what was happening in the movie.
Never let go.
Like fuck, it was fucking 3 hours. I'll never get back.
Have you read the Game of Thrones books?
No, I haven't.
No.
I'm still trying to get into it. Like my friends watch it and stuff, but I know it's an older film. Like I have some like collectibles from it too. So I'm like, why did you never watch it? I just think like it's so old school. It's not the errors I like watching, I guess, right? Like
the books are really good though. You would love the books.
Oh, books are usually way better anyways.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If you like reading though, the books are amazing.
Yeah. And that's me. Like I've read every single Harry Potter book, but I've watched one movie. Right? Like it's just everyone's different in that regard, right? So
Well, I mean, the book usually books are always better because they can tell so much more. You know,
you have to use your mind. You actually have to use your imagination to envision everything as you're reading it.
You put that picture of what you're reading in your head. You don't have someone else doing it for you. That's what's good about it. Yeah, I agree.
No, it's cool. Love that.
Whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, yeah.
I just never been into that mystical type stuff like those three we just mentioned. I can't get into it for some reason.
I'm not either. There's that genre. I think that's basically it. There's a couple other where I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this. It's just complete shit. Right? But I like some sci-fi. So obviously I like Predator movies and Alien and that kind of sci-fi. I wasn't really big on like Star Wars, so like that sci-fi that's too nerdy for me. I like the ones that kill people over here, and I like horror. Like I like darker things, right? And maybe that's what my problem is, and that's why I get in trouble sometimes because I'm so dark minded. Sometimes I'm like,
there you go.
No. So I'm all about like horror movies, and I love that. Any Bruce Willis movie, I'll watch. Right? Because you got to watch every Bruce Willis and every Samuel L. Jackson movie that's out there because you just got to find it. They're in everything. You got to watch.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no. I'll find some good movies to watch. I'm off for a week, so I need some shit to do.
Yeah, I've been off since Christ. What was it? Like a week and a half now. I've been off 11 days. I go back Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah, go back Saturday.
I really haven't caught up with anything like I should have. But
no, I got lazy. I was like, forget it. It's the holidays.
I was just like, I'll find other stuff to do, and I haven't watched much of anything really. I watched the original Christmas Carol with my father. We always do that.
Yep, that's a good one.
1951. I like that one the best. He's always watched that. Like when I was growing up, I just got attached to it, and we watch that every year, or tried to. But yeah, I haven't watched much of anything, man. It's like. Just been busy doing things.
No, for sure. And that's what I find a lot of people now is TV is like, even here for my son, he doesn't watch TV. He just likes that background noise. But he's also on his fucking tablet all day long.
A lot of like people I follow on YouTube, like I do watch them, but sometimes it's background noise. So
and that's it, right? Like we all have lives outside of the internet, the interweebs, right?
Well, another problem with like anything new coming out now is they've made everything so political. Like you don't even want to finish watching this shit. Like everything kind of tells the same story, just in a different way.
Yeah.
It's all just pushing politics. And like, can you just give us entertaining stuff to watch? Does it have to be political? Like, come on. I mean,
I'm starting to see an uprise in that too.
Oh yeah.
For a while there, I couldn't even watch sports without that.
No,
that's why I stopped watching the NFL. Like
I stopped watching for a while because I just
billboard for it. Like,
see, I don't do politics at all. I'm like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Doesn't matter which one of you idiots are in office. We're all fucking doomed anyways, right? So that's just how I see it.
Nobody can be like 100% on one side or the other.
Yeah, right.
It's not possible.
No.
There's no way you agree with every fucking thing that person says.
Exactly.
So what do you know, it's gotten so pathetic.
Yeah.
I just can't
It's the
stand
woke
it.
culture. That's why I explain to a lot of people that are young. And again, I'm only 37, so I'm not that old. But I also have people who are like 19. They're like, well, you know, I'm like, listen, like, you don't even know. Like, you're doomed regardless. This person has this policy over here, this way, right? And not to get too political, right? And that's exactly what happened last week. Is like I shared something without knowing 100% knowledge behind it, and I got fucking ripped apart, right? Because everything is political that you do. Even what we're doing right now, someone will probably have a problem somewhere. Because we've touched base on politics. For a brief second.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I keep politics off of my, my social media and my YouTube and stuff, because that's my escape from it. You're getting blasted with politics every fucking way you turn nowadays. I'm just tired of it. Like,
I know. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like they're still doing the blast here about freedom convoys. For in Canada, so they're doing freedom convoys because of the mandates for vaccines that were here a couple months ago. But like they're still going on. I'm like, nobody is telling you have to do it anymore. Why are we still rallying and still fucking posting about it and still doing it? Right? And I see that on my Instagram a lot too. And I'm just like, fuck, man, you can't escape it. Like you 100% can't escape it, but you try.
All that shit's calmed down here. I haven't heard. I don't watch the news though, so it may still be going on. But from what I understand, I haven't heard any of that shit lately. Like.
I think it's just a bunch of yokels here, to be quite honest. Like, to me, I'm like, if you are, I'm not vaccinated. Personal choice, I decide not to be vaccinated. My husband is vaccinated, right? So there was a split divide there. And I said, for me, I was being forced to do something. That's why I said no. Now, if it was something that I had the ability to walk in and say, okay, I think this is time to do it, different story. But at that point in time, like people were losing their jobs because they weren't getting vaccinations. I'm like, oh, absolutely not. Right. It was because I thought it was against our human rights. And now people are dying and now having to get like 4 more shots. And I'm like, look at you now, idiots. Right? Like, Like, they're not all idiots, but like, my mom's like, I won't get the other one. She's like, 2 is enough. Right. Like, why do I need to go get 3 and 4 and boosters? Right. So, so here they're still going on about that shit. And I'm like, but here they've dropped all the mandates. Like, you don't have to wear masks. You can still go out. I'm like, you're still going on about it. Just put it behind you. Right. So that's what's happening here still. Right. Obviously, the States is different. It's much bigger out there, right? So in the sense of population, I'd imagine, right? I think that America is bigger.
I guess we still hear the same kind of things you hear. But for me, I'm just like you. Like, I didn't get it. I didn't want it.
Nope.
If you want it, go get it. I don't want the fucking thing. And, knock on wood, I've been a pretty healthy, knock on wood, very hard. Been pretty healthy.
The people that got it are still getting sick anyways. So, I mean.
And for me, like, I was a nurse. Like, before all this, I was like helping people through COVID, and I was coming in contact with people with COVID, and I wasn't getting it. I was like, it's because I know how to wash my hands and take care of myself as an adult, right? Like, and I'm not saying that the people who got sick weren't doing so, right? Obviously, a lot of it was the elderly, right? The patients I was working with, so I understand.
Underlying issues. That's
right. So,
like, I worked in the operating room in a hospital / operating recovery, all that stuff for about almost 10 years, early 2000s. And had I stayed there and not moved careers, I would have lost my job a couple years ago because the hospital I worked for was either you get it or you are out of here.
And that's why I left. I was like, this is like they didn't force it yet, but they were talking about it. So I was like, well, before they sit that paper down and they cry, I was like, get out, right? So, and I switched jobs and I switched careers, and sometimes that's just how it happens, right? So, no, it was a blessing, but it was also like it had its pros and cons. The whole thing happening, right? Because I found some things that were like, oh, thank God I found this now instead of later, and then. Right now, I'm like, now I don't ever want to work in healthcare again, because do I really want to be put in that situation where I might have to not see my son again for like a month, right? Because I'm on lockdowns and stuff, right? So, no.
That whole thing was a mess. It was all a mess.
Yeah. No, and I don't know about the States, but here it was kind of sloppy too. Like, it was just sloppily handled. Right? Like, it was handled poorly. But
they made it political.
Yeah, because they made it political. It's like all you have to do is tell them to wash their hands and stop licking the windows, and we'll be okay. Right?
Not being in each other's face like this close.
Yeah,
That's not good
right?
anyway. I don't want anybody in my face. That
No, I don't like people in my space either. Sometimes my son, I'm like, can you just get away from me? They're also dirty little boys. I'm like, you're dirty. Dirty.
Yeah, I know.
No kids.
Everybody, you know, when you tell everybody you're having a kid, they all tell you about like not getting any sleep and the kid being a brat, whatever. But they don't tell you that you're going to be sick for 18 years.
I know. I know. I was never sick until this one.
The schools, man, you come home with everything, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know. And then like they're healthy for 5 days and then they come back again on the weekend sick again. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly what's been happening here too. So it's
I
just
get
like,
rid of a cold and then I got the flu. And then I get rid of the flu and then you got strep throat. You're like, what the fuck?
Like sometimes we plan on having the grandkids over, you know, to hang out or whatever. And then my stepdaughter, my wife's daughter will say, well, one of them's sick. So now they're all going to be sick. And we've been sick. And I'm like, well, then we'll see you next week. Maybe. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's always like that.
Yeah, we're starting to learn about vitamins though here. I was like, now you take vitamins every day because like, you know, it's something's got to give. I don't know. It's way different here. It's always cold though here.
I'm starting to look at homeschooling because I'm just sick of the illnesses coming home. Like,
yeah, I actually consider it myself, dude. Like last week, my son got sent home, and sometimes the teacher will just send him home if he goes, and I'm like, he was faking it. But like they sent him home, and he was like dying. Like I actually thought I had to rush him to the ER. Like I was like, does he have COVID? Like, is this like there's a huge RSV virus going around in Canada for the kids? Like it's just hitting the kids, and I was like, oh my god! But like. He went back and he was sick again at the holidays. And I'm like, same thing. I'm like, do I just homeschool him at this time? Like, do we just do that so that, because I can't afford to be sick. I know you guys probably can't afford to be sick.
I really just don't want to be sick.
No, I don't want to be sick in general, right? But like,
and especially at the beginning of the year, you know, you get your vacation sick time back. You don't want to use that right away.
No, of course.
You got a whole year to go. So
yeah, no, for sure, right? So no. That's why we just collect toys. You can't get sick if you're collecting toys.
Right. Who needs school? Fuck school.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you can learn so much more here, just in the toy room than you could in the classroom.
Exactly.
I could teach you how to build them. I could teach you a diorama. Like there's lots of things that I actually teach my son a lot of the stuff too. He does toy photography too. Again, he's only 5, so he's not good. But at least he's trying, right? And that's what I love about this shit. I was like, there's so much things here that I could teach him. And I've seen what the kindergarten class teaches. And I'm like, how much can you teach the color blue? Like how many, like
how many hand turkeys can you do? You know?
Right? Yeah. And then I wonder why my kid doesn't want to go to school. I'm like, I wouldn't want to go to school either if I got to hang out here. Like,
yeah. I mean, look at that room. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Like it's the whole house though. It's not just the room. So he has free play, right? So like I let him play with whatever he wants with the exception of like the quarter scales and shit. I'm like, don't touch the quarter scales ever. He has free play. So like school? No, okay. He'll be playing with action figures or something, right?
I let my son do the same thing. We actually started getting him his own turtle collection now. But he used to take my NECA turtles and play. He's careful with them, obviously. But I'm like, dude, they're supposed to be fun, you know? Like I want you to enjoy this stuff.
Oh, for sure. That's what I say. I'm like, they're not just here to collect dust.
Right.
Right. Like, or I would keep them in the box if that was the case. Like, I'm an out of the box collector. Of course, there's some things that will remain in the box. And I'm like, you are worth money. You can stay there. Yeah. But yeah, no, I always love when people are just like, oh, you don't even play with the toys. I'm like, you don't know me at all. Like these toys are on the floor all the time. Right. And we're just like moving shit and playing with shit. So
yeah, I started getting him his NECA the Toon Turtles, you know, for Christmas.
Yeah.
Goes, I think I'm gonna leave mine in the box. And I'm like, oh, you're smart. You're real smart. Smart.
Yeah,
just play with mine and keep yours in the box all nice. And
yeah. When I first got back into this, I was predominantly like in box. But then over time I started getting all my detox were overrun with like just showcasing boxes. And I'm like, screw this. I just started tearing things up. And there's a few things that I will never take out. And like you said, they're worth something or maybe worth something. But now I just display everything. I mean, it's much more fun that way to me.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and for me, like when I had them all in the box, like I used to have all my NECAs in boxes and like on the walls. Like, so I'm like, it's literally just posters. You're spending like $50 on posters.
Yeah.
Right? So I keep all the boxes, right? But they're just stored in storage, right? So, but no, I love this because I like to do toy photography too, right? When I get the opportunity, of course, or something hits me and I'm like, do this photo. Yeah, no, they're just fun to have. Like, there's so many.
Yeah.
I need more. I haven't been buying toys lately. I've kind of taken a break, so we'll see what gets added to the collection next.
Yeah, I haven't bought. I did a trade yesterday, so I'm happy about that. But I got a Captain America hot toy that's pretty cool. But I haven't really bought anything. I canceled a couple pre-orders. I just want to find things when I go out. Me and Colin were talking about this last night. The pre-ordering for us is kind of like, that's not really fun unless it's something like that's not going to be in a store.
Yes, we're going to sell out. You know it's going to be gone fast.
Yeah. Other than that, I like to just go in the store and find something and hold it and look at it.
Sure. That's how I am.
Get away, you know?
Yeah,
you're always going to find it. Eventually you'll find it. I mean,
yeah, right. And there's times where I've personally pre-ordered and I'm like, the Funko is sitting right there on the fucking shelf and I'm still waiting 6 months for this pre-order.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Pre-orders don't come how they used to.
Right.
When you used to pre-order stuff, you got it first.
Yes.
Like, that's why you pre-ordered it. Now they come 6 months later.
Yeah. And that's why that's why I'd rather just, like you're saying, Joe, is a in your hand, physical, when you get it to the cash register, it's coming home in one piece, hopefully in one piece. Right. Yeah. So, and especially if you're putting money, like I don't have any hot toys. I refuse to buy hot toys. They're beautiful. It's something I one day aspire, maybe. They're gorgeous pieces, but like I couldn't imagine getting home and it's like all fucked up, or getting it shipped to you, it's all fucked up, right? So,
knock on wood, I have not had that happen. They've all been they box these things really well, and for the most part, I've never had an issue that I can recall.
Well, that's good. But generalized, of course.
Don't buy one until you're ready, because there's nothing like opening your first hot toy figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're moving. So we're gonna have like a whole basement where it's gonna be nothing but like the fun zone, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to do all detolfs and stuff. So those are things I was looking once we got like the glass shelves in there, because like these wood shelves are great for like your Marvel Legends, but you don't want to be storing things like that that need to be on display.
Shelves, right. Yeah, I got 6 detolfs. I usually display my good stuff in them. You can see a couple of them behind me. They're on either side of this TV, but like you said, and then I got a shelf over on the other wall. I got a lot of wrestling figures, horror figures, things like that I keep on the shelf itself and not in the detolf. But the detolfs are nice. They're relatively cheap for what they are, and they display really nicely too. So
I know that's what I was waiting for, because we started collecting when my son was like 5 months old. So we're like, oh, dirty little fingerprints are going to be everywhere. We don't want that. And of course, no accidents and running into things. But now he's old enough. I'm like, we can look at glass now. Glass is okay. Yay.
Yeah, my puppy doesn't like I got a 1-year-old lab. He doesn't come in here, but my 9-year-old lab, I let him in here because he's really calm and
relaxed,
laid down. The other one, he'll be jumping all over.
The dog's not allowed in this room. This is a no-fly zone. Like the toy room and anywhere else with toys is fine. I'm like, this knows. I understand. And he's a 10-year-old dog, but he still thinks he's a 1-year-old puppy. So
before I got these little sticky things that Colin suggested to put under the feet to have on my figures,
like the 3M Velcro almost.
They're like the little things, like they're sticky on either side.
Double-sided tape. Yeah.
My Hasbro wrestling figures from the early 90s. They were just toppling over every time I walked in this room. So I'm like, fuck this. I got to get something. So he recommended those, and so far they're working out really good.
Personally, my wrestling stuff never falls over. It's out like in a very main area, like pathway too. So I'm like, they never fall. So I don't have those problems. But I think I know what you're talking about. They come in like little squares and stuff too.
Yeah, these are circular, but I just cut them in half, make a moon out of them, and put one on each foot, and they work pretty well. Now, funny enough, like the other shelf over here, none of them have anything on their feet, and none of them ever fall. No. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but
no, I know. That's why I just think that every figure should come with a stand. I don't care who makes it, what it is. There needs to be a stand for every figure. It's one thing I say when I'm on my YouTube. I'm like, why do I spend $40 for this fucking NECA figure. And like Elvira, for example, I don't know if any of you have the Elvira NECA figure, but she does not stand up on her own properly, right? Like, just kind of, I'm always like, why the fuck am I spending an extra $20 to get 10 more fucking stands? Right? So
the worst one ever for me yet has been Splinter, the Monsters Splinter, the new one, the Helsing. He comes with a stand, but he's still leaning forward.
Well, look at the original NECA for Splinter. He has no stands or fucking peg holes in his feet. So I'm like, what is this?
The same figure, correct? I think it's the same figure with just some tweaks, I believe,
right?
Yeah.
But like this one, it's out in the living room with the turtle stuff. But like the original movie one has nothing to even stand it up. Like there's no peg holes, and it's the worst figure to stand. Like I literally have it leaning on like a sewer slider just to kind of make it look like it's standing. But I don't know. I think every single person, every company needs to send a stand with their figures, whether it's wrestling, Hasbro, NECA, fucking, right?
Stands for everyone, yeah. So the Splinter, he fell. His little chin hair broke off. His leg broke. I'm like, what the fuck, this thing?
Oh, I haven't seen him. Van Helsing? Yeah, that's what you're saying, the Van Helsing one? Like, yeah, he's got that little, okay.
Okay. Off, and I'm like, shit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it back to Target and see if I can swap it out. And like, I'm like, this should not happen this easily, you know?
Come on, NECA, get your shit together.
NECA won't answer me. I tried to do it the right way, but now I'm going to force me to do it this way. So
you have to be a little shady, hey? Okay.
Well, our chat's calling you for president. KushieMama for president.
Oh, well, thanks, guys. I just want stands for my toys. I don't need to be president.
I agree with a lot of things she said, except the Terrifier thing, but we can let that slide.
It's a shit movie. I'm sorry. It was shitty. The second one was
let it slide.
This is why we can't be friends, because Terrifier 2 is fucking garbage.
No, we'll still be friends.
Okay, fine.
Difference of opinion. We can.
But we won't.
I do agree. The first one is way better.
I did like the first one, yeah.
And who knows? Maybe the third one will be fucking spectacular.
If they get rid of that mystical shit, yeah.
No more mystical shit in horror movies. That's like that's why I didn't really like I love the Rob Zombie Halloween movies, but then when it started getting with that unicorn shit and all this, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, you know when you see a unicorn, you're in trouble. Yeah,
I'm out. The movie's done.
No good comes of that. So.
No, cool, man.
So we're winding up about an hour. We don't want to hold you, let you get on with your day. We usually do this about an hour or so.
No worries. I have watched the show. I was actually watching you guys the other day when you guys were I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was Scalpers. Scalpers. The Scalpers. Yeah. I'm like, listen, no, I don't scalp. I sell toys, but I resell vintage toys. Like,
we're talking about more of the people who go there, buy everything, and then go sell it for.
No, I know. I watched. I actually watched. Colin's like, I'm not talking about this guy over here. I'm talking about this asshole that goes in. Like, we hide shit in the back. Yeah, right. Like, I watch it. See, that means I watch the videos.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Right? No worries. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys bringing me on. Of course, my first show of 2023. And of course, I will continue to support you guys.
Likewise.
Yeah, of course. So I appreciate
anything that you want to plug. Anything coming up?
Nothing much coming up. I will obviously post that all on my Instagram, KushieMama, of course. Once things start happening, more when winter is over, right? Things will obviously be pumping out a little bit more. But for now, I'm just going to focus on other ventures. Of course, Doodle Toy Report is also ours. If you guys have seen us pop on your channel before, I'm working on his store. So that's my son's store. Just stay tuned to Instagram, KushieMama. That's going to have everything that's going to be happening this year. Hoping this winter is a lot faster than last winter so that things pump out more. Otherwise, I'll be at the Awesome Toy Show in March of this year. And of course, that will be posted on my Instagram. So just follow me there. Otherwise, we're good.
Good, yeah. We'll definitely keep supporting you as well, like I said. But thank you for coming on, taking the time with us. We appreciate it. Other than that, we're going to see you next week. And next week, let me see what we got going on because I got a whole list of shit here. So,
oh, hold up. Dave just hit us with one. How about a horror movie about a collector who is killed by scalpers and comes back to hunt them down? Had to throw that one out there.
I'm still thinking about that. I'm trying to.
I know, things are moving.
Yeah. A horror movie about a collector who is killed by scalpers.
Oh yeah, I can see this.
Does he scalp them?
We're gonna have to do
What if the scalpers? What if the collector kills the scalpers and the scalper comes back to kill him? Because I feel like that would be more evil. Because the scalper was already evil in the first place, doing dirty deeds anyhow.
True.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like us four need to talk.
We got to have a little side piece conversation over here.
I think we're gonna get into movie producing.
Yeah, you never know, man.
Awesome.
It can all expand from here.
That's right.
Yeah, so next week we're going to have on next Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern, Yukon Phil will be on with us. Cool guy. He had me on his show before, so he'll be on here. Check that out. Other than that, thank you, KushieMama. Mandy, I appreciate you. We'll continue to follow.
Of course.
Keep in touch. And
of course. We'll see you soon.
Next week.
All right. Take care, guys. Thank you so much.
Later.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Yeah, Dave, we're gonna have to talk. We'll talk.